LEGO has just revealed the new Star Wars movie sets based on the Mandalorian and Grogu, which release April 26, 2026. The smallest of the bunch is this AT-RT set, retailing for $45 with 297 pieces and 3 characters. And with these sets, we get a completely new Grogu minifigure. You see, the original one used a build that had the baby torso. This time, we have a new cloak piece, which the shape of that is just so much better and more accurate to the character from the show, and I quite like that design. This is actually the only one of the sets to have that design without seemingly the Mandalorian armor attached to it. So this one is exclusive to this set. There's also the exclusive Imperial Remnant AT-RT driver, which has some really cool new printing and interesting use of that Shore Trooper helmet with a new color and printing and everything there. The Mandalorian is the same one found in the other sets, which has some new printing on the legs, but is just about the same that we've gotten in many sets for the past couple years, even down to arm printing, which, yeah, I do like arm printing. I like the inclusion of the jetpack as well. This is one of the grayest AT-RTs I've seen from LEGO. And while I like colorful versions of vehicles, I actually think this looks pretty cool. It's just that, you know, AT-RTs are pretty common in the world of Star Wars. Like, we just got one in yellow and another $45 set from last year. The little defense tower is a basic build. It's something you'd see in like an Attack on Hoth set. And you could open it up and it reveals a little weapons rack, which is cute, but it's nothing special. There's 4 stickers, one on each of the panels surrounding the base of this little defense area. The thing that's really annoying about this set is that it's $45. It's the cheapest of this wave, and everything about this screams $20 to $30. $45 is pretty dang ridiculous, and it just goes to show how overpriced these LEGO Star Wars sets are, smart play or not. If this was $30, I would have actually bought it. There's enough there for me to like, but I guess I'll have to wait till clearance, Walmart prices, or just skip it altogether. The most unique is this Anzellan Starship, which is 701 pieces for $75, and I just call this the Babu Frick ship. I mean, look, we got that micro figure back in 2025 Star Wars Advent Calendar, and they reused that base piece, but give us 2 different Anzellan designs. These are different from Babu. You can see how there's slight differences. One of them has boobs, one of them doesn't. Different face prints and all. The design of this ship is made for micro figures. So the third figure in this set is Grogu, which that's the first of the one with the Mandalorian armor, but that also comes in the Razor Crest, which we'll get to in a second. You know, the one from season 3, the Rondell, the circular piece of Beskar. There's a battle droid included in here as well, but it's kind of broken down and being scrapped for parts. But yeah, the interior has like a little table with cups, a little scrapping bay with some tools and everything there. It's pretty adorable. And you even have a cockpit that fits a micro figure or statuette figure, which is really funny. It seems like the whole roof of the ship just easily removed so that you could access that interior. And I like how they use that latch piece for the door leading into the ship. I've never seen that used for a door, but it makes sense since these are micro figures. The overall design of this I just wish was like a really fun color, because it is this gray color that we see with so many other LEGO Star Wars ships, even though it is a distinct ship. And I feel like it would have had a little bit more flair if that was true, but I'm sure this is accurate in universe and everything there. The shaping is very peculiar, which I like. So yeah, this might be my favorite of the bunch. It is really growing on me. I do wish they included one more Anzellan minifigure. I mean, there's not a lot in the universe at the time that this takes place, so you could have thrown in one more. 3 characters in a battle droid feels lacking for a $75 price, but still it has a better price per piece ratio than any of the other sets this wave, so I'll take that. Like the new Razor Crest, which is 930 pieces for $100. That would be perfect. Nope, it's $150. What the hell, LEGO? It's almost as bad as this set last year. Regardless, this upgrade to the Razor Crest is only our second minifigure scale Razor Crest, the last one coming in 2020. And this has all those yellow markings, which are pretty interesting. Which that old one just looks a little bit bigger than this new one is. And I also noticed that that old one had the escape pod feature, which is completely lacking from this one. This new one has a smaller interior as well. And it doesn't seem like they have the sleeping area that the old one had. those side panels, which you could still move to access interiors for, feel a lot more shallow in this new build. To be fair, they only have images of one panel open, so maybe it's still there. I mean, the press release just mentioned these as the engine and cargo compartments, so yeah, I don't expect a sleeping area. However, this new one does have a little electrical crawl space, which seemingly has the remains of the Darksaber, which I believe Grogu finding that was a scene in the Celebration trailer for the movie. The last one had 1,023 pieces. This one has 930, yet this one is $10 more, but there's inflation and everything there. It's not like that last one was priced excellently. I mean, that was $140, which was pretty ridiculous back then too. We don't have the best look at the cockpit yet, but I do like seeing that cockpit piece with the yellow printing this time around. I do love the shaping of that, which it had a different print in the last minifigure scale Razor Crest set. As for the minifigures, we have that same Mandalorian that we saw in the ATRT, the same Grogu that we saw in the Anzellan ship set. There's Zeb reappearing, which is really awesome. We haven't gotten Zeb since the Ghost set in 2014, and that was his Rebels design. This one, I think, uses the same headpiece from way back then. Regardless, you can see the face print is different with a nice smirk. The design of the torso with dual molded arms there with the blue sleeves is really nice, and even dual molded legs. You don't usually see dual molded arms and legs on Star Wars figures, so I think all of that's really neat. There's also Colonel Ward. She also comes in the X-Wing set we'll take a look at in a second. The design here is kind of funny because this is another Sigourney Weaver character, and she came in the Avatar sets with a very similar face print. However, this is a different face print because the X-Wing set, which uses the same face, shows off that alternate face. So yeah, the torso print is seemingly new. And then finally, there's an Imperial Remnant Stormtrooper, which uses that black pauldron piece, which we saw for the first time unprinted in black in the Smart Play Cantina set. So now you don't have to buy that trash to get this specific piece, which is nice. But other than that, I can't really find differences with the base Stormtrooper design here. And there's a little simple build for a Stormtrooper Sentry E-Web Blaster, which is really nothing. I mean, this doesn't look bad, just keeping in mind that it is a little bit smaller and $10 more than that previous version that was minifigure scale is a little egregious, but yeah, it's fine. And the last of the minifigure sets is the New Republic X-Wing Starfighter, which is $70 for 558 pieces. This does kind of scream $50, maybe $55 at most, but the pricing's so out of whack at $70. I do really like the look of this though, admittedly. The color scheme of this already makes me very happy that we're kind of getting a remake of the Resistance X-Wing fighter from 2016, which I can't believe I gotta say is pretty dang nostalgic to me now. I mean, what? That's going to be 10 years since that came out, which, yeah, I guess it's about time for a remake there. And the design here actually looks pretty great for an X-Wing. I mean, the sides are as sleek as ever. I love how they have that logo at the side right there, even if it is a sticker. The engines are just about perfect, which I can say is an improvement from the 2016 Resistance X-Wing and many of the X-Wings I loved back in the day. The formation of flight mode just by pressing that top part is still intact, which I always love seeing that spring into action, but we'll have to wait and see how smooth that is in person. The back part has a really nice usage of one of those mech front parts where it holds a little compartment lid, having some extra weapons inside there. Sure, the stud shooters are a little bit awkward and shoehorned in, but they don't look too out of place if you shoot those studs out. Yeah, I like the build here a lot. The design of the minifigures, I kind of wish there were more than just 3, especially for that $70 price. Once again, that Colonel Ward is the same face print as the Razor Crest set, but there is an exclusive helmet print, which is really neat. And it's the first time we're getting Carson Teva, which I really do like getting that character. It doesn't seem like they include a hairpiece like they have for Colonel Ward in this set because, well, he's bald in the actual show. You can see his alternate face print right here, which is just usable for an old guy in the world of Lego. That's pretty great. Again, exclusive helmet to this character. And even the astromech droid is exclusive. You see, I thought this was the same one from the ARC 170 last year, but if you put them side by side, you can see the slightest differences on the torso and head. So that's pretty neat. Again, wish they threw in an extra minifigure or two, but Yeah, this set is overpriced, though I think the build of this might be the strongest out of the whole wave. It's one of the best X-Wings they've ever put out. And it's definitely better than the other X-Wing coming out this year. Finally, there's a $40 Lego BrickHeadz. Okay, I guess this has the best price per piece ratio out of this wave, but you know, this is mostly basic pieces. Now, we did get a Mando and Grogu BrickHeadz way back in the day, but you get a remake of those two characters with totally different BrickHeadz designs, of course, updated with the Beskar armor for Grogu. I'm not really a BrickHeadz person, so I'm not fawning over anything here. I find it interesting that we get an Imperial Remnant Snowtrooper in here, and they're not present as a minifigure in any of the sets of this initial wave. I'm guessing they'll come later this year because there are more sets coming for this movie. And then the Anzellan looks really off to me, like this doesn't look like the species. Also, it's kind of boring that they just throw in Colonel Ward, who doesn't really have any cool design. It's just like a regular person here, while the rest have armor or different species. I would really have preferred if they threw in Zeb instead, which is a much more popular character, would provide for a much more interesting BrickHeadz. But yeah, these are not sets for me. At least it's a decent price, especially when BrickHeadz keep rising in prices, like one single BrickHeadz being $13. Also, this is called Allies and Villains, but the only villain is the Snowtrooper. Are the Anzellans going to betray the Mandalorian? Oh no. Well, I'm not hyped for this movie. I really am interested how they have like a grown-up Rhoda. And it's sad that grown-up Rhoda, played by the guy from The Bear, you know, young Willy Wonka, is not present in any of these sets. I'm guessing that's going to be another Summer Wave edition. Two last things I want to note is that the box has the old version of Grogu at the top right corner. I mean, it's the same one they used earlier this year. And also, I find it very funny that they introduced this new Grogu body piece right after they have a $10 set, which is the cheapest way to get Grogu yet. Ugh, they knew what they were doing, didn't they? These sets don't look bad, it's just the prices that really weigh them down. I might pick up the Anzellan ship, and I do like that X-Wing. I think it's one of the best they put out, but dang, those prices right out the gate are pretty bad. Let me know how hyped you are in the comments for these sets and which one's your favorite and least favorite. Subscribe here for more LEGO news and commentary. Seriously, you liking, commenting, and subscribing helps the channel so much, especially with this rough algorithm, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.